Today we are going to be exploring what is in your pencil bag and why do you have so many pencils. So let's start with understanding what these pencils are. I'm going to take them out, take a look at them, everything in your bag. And you'll notice that you have 7 different pencils, 2 of these rolled paper things, and a kneaded eraser. So let's start with the pencils. With your pencils, you'll notice that they have numbers on the end of them, and they range from a 6H to a 6B. And you can put them in number order from 6H. You should also have a 2H, HB, a B, a 2B, or not 2B, a 4B, and a 6B. So those are the pencils that you should have. And what that really means when you have these different ranges of pencils is they are different compressions of the graphite in the pencil itself. So the H pencils are very, very highly compressed. They're really squeezed together, whereas the B pencils are looser. And the highly compressed pencils are going to be much lighter. They don't come off from the pencil as quickly, and the B pencils, because they are looser, they will make darker marks. So let's take an exploration and see what is going to happen. In my sketchbook, my purple sketchbook, I have my contour line drawings from the day before, and now I'm going to start looking at these pencils. I'm just going to take just a regular number 2 pencil and show you a quick number line of what that means. So we have H on one end, we have B on the other, and if we would make that like a number line, we have HB in the middle. So H stands for highly compressed, and the B is also going to be a low compression, and therefore B is really bold. Think of it that way, or really dark. And then the H is a very hard lead, and it's very light. And they go just like a number scale. So this would be mark 0. And then the further away from 0 they get, the more extreme they're going to be. So your 6B pencil is going to be darker than your B pencil, which is going to be lighter than your 2B. And I've also given you a 4B, and then you have the 6B. And with the H pencils, you have a 6H, and then I also gave you a 2H. And there are all of those numbers in between. They do have a regular H. You will have, or you can find a 3H, a 4H, a 5H. You can go all the way up to a 9H. But these are the ones that I've given you, because with pressure, we can control some of these in between, and we don't necessarily need all of the lights. By the way, a regular number 2 pencil, like I have here, is actually a 2B pencil. And when you take a Scantron test or fill in the bubble test, they want you to have a number 2 pencil, and that's because it is going to be dark enough that the machine can read it, but it is not going to be so dark that it smears. The 6B pencils will smear very easily. Those H pencils are too light, and then the machine or the computer will not be able to read it. So when they want a number 2 pencil, that's what they want. They want a 2B pencil. Sometimes the HB pencils are fine, but typically between there, that's what you're looking for. So let's start with understanding why these are going to be lighter and why these are going to be darker. And I just mixed up my pencils here. 6H, 2H, 6B, 2B. There we are. And in your sketchbook, I am going to have you guys draw some squares so that you can understand the compression of your graphite and which ones are lighter and which ones are darker. I'm not using a ruler, I just took a plain piece of extra paper so I can just draw some straight edges. And you don't have to draw with a number 2 pencil, you can draw with your drawing pencils, that's fine. And I need to make 7 squares, 7 boxes. And we are going to fill them in with the values of the different pencils you have. So this one would be a 6H, 2H, HB, B, 2B, 4B, 6B. So taking my pencils, starting with the 6H, going to hold it back as far as I possibly can, just to make sure it's very, very light, and I'm going to fill in a value with my 6H pencil. Remember when you are shading that you want to get all the way to the edge, and you want to try and make it as even as possible. Now I go with my 2H pencil. And you will notice that the 2H pencil is slightly darker than the 6H. And let's continue with the rest of the pencils. All right, and by using really the same amount of pressure on all of my different pencils, you can see that I have different values with my 7 different pencils because of the compression of the graphite that's in there. Now also in your bag you have 2 blending stumps, which the next video is going to show you information about how to use the blending stump and the tortillon, and then what to do if you accidentally squish the tops. And then the last fun thing is this kneaded eraser. If you haven't already done so, make sure that you open this up. It is a flexible eraser, meaning that you can mold it and shape it and try and get new surfaces all the time. There it is, got it. So go ahead and open it up. It's kind of like putty. Don't throw it away, but you can stretch and shape and bend and mold, and kind of the more you play with it, the softer it's going to get. And you can make little fun sculptures with it too. So we will explore this in the next set of videos of how to draw a sphere and how to blend and how to shade.